Welcome to Sit, Stay, Read, the podcast for every wag, whinny, and whisker. I'm Kathleen Donnelly, award-winning author and retired canine handler. Each week, I chat with novelists about the bond we share with our furry friends and how they inspire stories. Grab a coffee, get cozy with your favorite pet. It's time to sit, stay, read. Welcome to Sit, Stay, Read. I'm here today with acclaimed best-selling author Sarina Bowen to discuss her latest thriller, Dying to Meet You. Sarina, welcome. It's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I would love it just for our listeners if we started by you just giving me a little overview of Dying to Meet You. It was a fantastic book, total page turner. I couldn't put it down. So if you can give us a little summary, that would be great.
Sure. Thank you, by the way. I like to start with the dedication. This book is dedicated to my sons. Thank you for sharing your location with me so that I could think up the creepy plot of this book. And that really starts things off the way that this story started for me, which is when I didn't become acquainted with this app until my older son got an e-bike and he was suddenly traveling much too fast on these curvy country roads where we live. And I used to check to make sure he got where he was going. But it was really creepy to be able to follow him in real time. And I thought, because it's my job, what is the creepiest thing that could happen with this? And, how is this going to change all of our lives? And that's how I landed here.
Oh, that's so fascinating because that was going to be one of my questions was it the app that sparked your idea? And I read the dedication to your sons and or was there something else? So along with the app, you had some great characters. They were just really fascinating and I thought their goals and motivations were really clear, especially Natalie, the teenage daughter.
Oh, well, she
I
was fun. I don't have a daughter, so I really enjoyed, writing one.
Oh, that's great. Was there anything else besides the app that sparked this story idea?
Well, I enjoyed writing an older heroine. She's, 40-ish. She had been in a relationship for the first time in like a decade. And that was a really hard thing for her to do. She had been burned very badly before, so here she is, trying it, and then she gets dumped on a text message because it's 2025, and she is mad, just more mad than heartbroken, but she doesn't deal with it in a healthy way. She doesn't eat too much ice cream or watch too many movies. She starts following him on this app because he shared his location and then forgot. So yeah, she just follows him around for a while, and then one night she kind of snaps because she can see that he went to park in their spot. And so she leashes up the dog and goes out to see who else is in that car, and then he's dead. So um, this is the first book I've written with kind of a dead body at the beginning of the story, a, a real whodunit. And I mean, I've written lots of suspense before, but this was the first time it followed sort of that classic pattern, and I really enjoyed working with that as a starting place.
And you did a great job with it. When I finished it, I actually was suspecting, I think everyone but the person, and I don't want to give spoilers, but I got to the
Right.
end and then you're like, oh yeah, I see that now. You did a beautiful
Okay.
job of that. So
Well,
that was
that's the
really
job,
fun.
right? Like it has to be when you get to that twist, like it has to make sense. It can't just come out of nowhere.
Yes. Yes.
Um, and it has to be sort of subtly established and not too loud, and I don't know, that's what makes suspense harder for me as a genre to write, is that the analysis required, and also just it takes more input from others, like it takes more editing than romance, because I need to know how loudly I have been broadcasting things so that someone else can tell me, like, I did not see that coming. And um my editor fell for it. So I was like, yay.
That is always a great sign when your editor falls for it. That's an exciting moment. Part
Mhm.
of what really intrigued me with this book, I live in Colorado and I've
Okay.
never been to Maine, but what an amazing place. It's somewhere I would like to go. So the setting was really great and it added to the tension and some of the creepiness. Did you base it off? I know Portland, Maine is a real place. Do you
Hmm.
go there often or?
I do actually. I go to Portland like 3 or 4 times a year, and I really enjoy it. Um, it's a city, and I some books need a city and some books don't. So, I have books that are set in small towns, but this wasn't going to be a small town book. So it's a city, but it's small enough to feel different than, say, New York. It's really beautiful there. It is a working port, but it doesn't have that like ugly working port look of, I don't know, like Elizabeth, New Jersey, or it isn't. It's just like a sweet spot in small cities and very historic. And that's where I wanted to put this book because, as you know, it has a creepy mansion in it. And who doesn't love a good creepy mansion in a story? So, yeah, it just had what I needed as a setting.
That's fantastic. Is there really a mansion with this background? It's the mansion was
Um,
kind of a character of its own.
Kind of. So, when I was researching for this book, I knew I wanted a New England mansion. So the first one I toured was actually in Vermont. It's the Billings Mansion in Woodstock, and it was gorgeous, but it was really too comfortable. It was like I could move right in there right now and I would be comfortable. And it didn't have the vibe I was looking for. So then I toured the Victoria Mansion in Portland, Maine, and that's roughly the house that I ended up using.
Okay.
So I had some fun with the topic of the wall painting in this house. It's not the same. And I relocated the house a few blocks away, but the 1860 building timeline, the Italianate architecture, the sandstone cladding, like that is real. Like you can go tour
That's
it and it
cool.
will look familiar. Yeah.
Oh, that's so neat. Yeah, the paintings in the book were really fascinating, and so that's interesting. The background with those too. Is Docksiders a real place? Because I kind of want to go listen to some music there.
Oh, okay, so Docksiders is not a real place, but there are lots of Docksiders.
Okay.
There's the t most touristy part of Portland is right on the waterfront, and there are bars that are kind of out on the pier or just right along Commercial Street.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, so the you could find it. It just wouldn't be called
So,
Docksiders.
okay. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to hear what's real and what's fictional in a setting. So, I don't want to give away again a spoiler, but ghosts are kind of mentioned throughout this. There's a little piece of that. Are you a believer in ghosts, or have you had any ghost experiences?
You know, I haven't really. Um, I don't have super strong feelings about this. I'm probably way too analytical to be like your favorite ghostwriter, but I am interested and I like a good ghost in my books as much as the next girl. And of course, the best thing about this ghost is you don't really know if it's real. Like it's just a sort of
Yeah.
hanging, it's a gloom factor overhanging the book. It isn't like a big plot point at all.
Yeah,
And everybody's like on edge from the ghost, but also because there was just a murder that happened here. And, I just had, honestly, that was just a fun part. I had
that's
fun
cool.
with the ghost.
Well, it was a lot of fun. So it just kind of added, again, it added to that suspense. And like you said, it's not a huge plot point, but I appreciated it. I always enjoy a good little ghost in there. Now, since
Yeah,
this is
making trouble, a little
yeah,
mayhem here and there. What's a little mayhem between friends?
exactly, exactly. Well, since this podcast is Sit, Stay, Read, and we discuss some animals, I'm going to discuss a couple characters that are in your book, my two favorites.
Okay.
Lick Jagger, aka
Yeah.
Licky, and
Hmm.
then her cat sidekick Zoe. I was curious as a retired canine handler. Malinois are usually very high energy, although I've met one or two who weren't. I'm curious, do you have a Malinois, and are they a
I
little
don't.
calmer?
No, I like dogs like a tourist likes a place that they visit because I'm terribly allergic to pets.
Okay.
And so I can't have one, but I really enjoy them, as a character in a book because that's as close as I can really get. And I do have a very good friend. Like the dog that I know best is a German Shepherd who is not exactly like the rest of the German Shepherds. He's just much more chill than that. And I just like this idea that like it's not all determined. You know, like
Yeah.
that you could have a dog in this breed that's like, yeah, I don't need to get up excited about that, and so it's just like people, mostly they behave the way you expect them to, and then once in a while you just find somebody who's really chill.
I love that. I totally agree with that. And I actually knew in my working career one Malinois who completely failed out because she was licky. She was so chill. She would have been, and so that's who came to my mind when I was reading it. How about Zoe? Are you allergic to cats as well, or
Yeah.
do you have? Oh, shoot.
No, terribly allergic to cats. Yeah.
Oh,
And I have not for this book, but in the past, when writing a pet, have to like talk to people and be like, so if I want this cat to be a real jerk, like not that this one is, but like what are we doing? Like how does that play out? Just so that I don't get it wrong. But yeah. I mean, if you look at my Instagram feed, it's like all cats. You'd think I loved cats, but no, they give me hives.
oh no. Well, you can love them, but maybe just not
Yeah.
have them.
Yeah.
Because I did enjoy your Instagram feed, and I highly recommend readers check it out. You have some great memes over there. What do you enjoy about adding in the animal character? Especially, I mean, it sounds like since you can't have them, that's a piece of it, but are
Of
there other
course.
things you enjoy or
Well, animals bring mayhem and a little bit of unpredictability to everything. And they're also really empathetic.
yeah.
So it's just a fun way to have a secondary character that seems sort of immediately familiar. You don't have to
Yeah.
work too hard to establish the personality of that animal. So yeah, love it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it added to the storyline. I thought it brought out some things about the human characters that were fun too. Just again, not main plot points, but just on the
Right,
side.
right. Yeah.
So
Like you don't expect that character to have that cat.
I was not seeing that coming. I will admit that. I did not see that at all. So, but it was fun and it added to him because the character we're talking about, uh, when readers read the book, we'll see that at first you don't really like him, and then by the end I did. I did a
Yeah.
lot, and which was a great character arc. But yeah, the cat helped a lot with that.
Well, this really is a book about how well do you know the men in your life? And there's really
Yeah.
three men in this book that you're not sure about. And it takes a really long distance into the book to figure out which of these men is okay and which ones are terrible.
Yeah.
And that's really the work of the book is to figure out which one of those dudes is all right and which of the other ones are just real bad news. So, and which one is maybe not quite as awful as you thought. And yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of fun there.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was fun seeing it through both the main character Rowan's eyes and her daughter's eyes, Natalie. It was fun to see her daughter coming in and having kind of an opinion about some of these guys too.
Hmm. Yep, and it didn't always line up with our moms. That the 16-year-old was really fun. I often will put teenagers in books, but I rarely get to have them as a point of view character. So that was fantastic to be able to write her as a point of view character. And my kids are a little older than the
Mhm.
16-year-old in this book, but it's very familiar. It's familiar territory to me, like the chaos of them, like how lovely they are, but how maddening. And, I really had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun. And I enjoyed how Natalie, the daughter, actually kind of used the app back with her mom. Like she
Yeah,
manipulated it a
that's
little bit.
that's actually one of my most favorite moments in the book at one point is and it's not a spoiler at all because this is not even a plot point, but there's a lot that happens with this app about like how useful it is, but how dangerous. And then at one point, the daughter just finds the mom at a meeting where she is, and the mom is so startled, like, "What are you doing here?" And the kid's like, "That app works both ways."
I love that. Did that happen? Did that ever happen with you and your son since you used the app with them or
Not me, but one of my friends once, was like her kids descended on her at Starbucks where she was trying to get some work done, and I just thought that was cute.
Yeah, that's fun. Hey, that's a good opportunity to get coffee out of your mom there. So, um, I would love to know, are there any other books with I mean, I know you have written other books with animals. Are there any you'd like to talk about here or recommend to readers who like an animal sidekick?
The 5-Year Lie has a fun animal as well. There's a German Shepherd in that book. Um, the cat who's kind of a jerk is in a book of mine called Speakeasy, and the cat is inherited from someone who passes on. So the cat and the hero of the book have to get to know each other a little bit.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and there's a lovely metaphor there about how the cat and the guy have to, the cat has to stop being so afraid, and the heroine of that novel also has to pretty much do the same thing. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'll have to check it out. And I already have plans to read your other books because this was the first one of yours I've read and it was fantastic.
Well, thank
Um,
you.
yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. So what's next? Do we have more domestic thrillers or more romance coming up or both?
Well, both actually.
Fantastic.
My next book is called Thrown for a Loop, and it is uh, a new hockey series. I have a bunch of romances with hockey players in them, and they tend not to have pets because of that wild schedule. But yeah, but I'm also writing another domestic thriller um, that I'm not quite ready to talk about yet, but
Okay.
yeah, so I have a lot on my plate, and it's been a great year for thinking of new characters.
Oh, that's fun. I look forward to reading more of your books. I also noticed on your website that readers can buy signed copies of your book. Uh,
Yeah,
is that any book or just specific books
um,
or
it's mostly backlist. I,
okay.
you know, as and when a new book comes out, the author really prefers for the reader to buy it in the store.
Yeah.
So, most of the books for sale on my website are older,
Okay.
and signed copies are really fun, and romance readers particularly love a signed copy. So that's part of why I have that store there. And but the if somebody is going to buy my book, I really don't care where they buy it. Like
Yeah.
I'm perfectly happy for that person to read the ebook, listen to the audio, buy the paperback, wherever. Like it's a legal copy is a wonderful copy, and that's the way that is. So
Oh, for sure. I just thought I'd mention it because I know as a fan, it is fun to get signed copies. So I'm right in there with the romance fans if you really love an author to be able to have that.
yeah, yeah, signed copies are fantastic, and a lot of authors have some of them on their site now because there are sort of super fans who want that extra flair. So
Yeah.
before a book like the Dying to Meet You comes out, we did a signed pre-order campaign, which means that
Nice.
there was one particular New Hampshire bookstore where readers could buy that book. I went down to the bookstore on the Sunday before launch day to sign all those books, and then they got shipped out on Monday, and the book releases Tuesday. So that's kind of how we get signed books into people's hands on a launch.
Fantastic. And that leads me to one of my final questions is if people want to find out about opportunities like that or just connect with you, where are the best places for them to go?
Yeah, so it's always the newsletter. The newsletter is
Yeah.
like, here's what's coming, here's what's on sale, here's this special cover, things like that. So sarinabowen.com is great for that. And also Instagram. We do a pretty good job letting everybody know what's going on there.
And great memes on your Instagram, I just have to say.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed that. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Is there anything you'd like to add that I didn't ask or
I
anything?
don't think so, but thank you for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show. And everyone, please make sure to check out Sarina's website, sign up for her newsletter, and read Dying to Meet You. It's fantastic. Thank you. Thanks for joining me today. Sit, Stay, Read is a part of the Authors on the Air Global Network. If you enjoyed today's author interview, be sure to leave a review and share the episode with a fellow animal-loving reader. If you're curious about the world of working dogs and wilderness adventures, please check out my books at KathleenDonnelly.com. Until next time, curl up with your best furry friend and sit, stay, read.